Hey, what's going on? It's the Zonk Man here again. Man, you'll see. They might come out different days, but they'll be the same short videos. I like doing those. Those are funny. What's the Zonk Man doing here now? All right. In fact, I cut out of that last video so quick because I rambled on and on and on and on and on. I still want to say a shout out to Justin, Jeff, Eric Weinbender, Kendall, Art, North Carolina Vinyl Picker, and all those guys that did the big dig from Gastonia to Charlotte. It was a great time. So I just kind of wanted to close that out. Didn't do my finished business at the end of that other video. It got so long. So what is this video? This video is, I'm going to have to look at something here. A non-completist record collection, which I'll be honest right off the get-go, the Zonk Man is incapable of. So this is supposed to be for all these great records that you have, multiple, and I'm going to kind of go by Vinyl Richie's rules here. There's at least 5 studio albums or more, and depending on how many records you got, you can't choose it's got to be a regular album. You can't choose a compilation, live album, greatest hits, nothing like that. So if you could just take one record from one of your favorite bands and consolidate down into the non-completist record collection. Which this, I say Vinyl Richie, that's of course the first video I watched. But I also watched Mark Morris, check out his channel. And the one who actually kind of started this thread was Clash City Rocker, Mike. Come on, what does this thing do, man? You killing me, Smalls, you killing me. Anyway, so that's it. It is the non-completist record collection. So I'm just going to start rolling here with bands and the one record I took out. This is just something fun to do to show you. These are some of the bands that I have over 5 records of, or at least these artists, because you might be questioning some of these artists. They're like, do they actually have 5 studio albums? And it is, yes, some of these are right at 5 studio albums. But then with the live and the other compilations, I've got more records of that from there, or like an EP maybe. All right, we're going right off the riff. And this is not to say anything else against those guys, because it was a great topic to talk about how you're going to consolidate your record collection and only have one album for an artist that you love. But I wanted to get away from the Beatles, Bob Dylan. There's a few of those kind of artists in here, but there's not many. I wanted to get into more what I was into. There's a lot of 90 artists that I was big on. And then there's some that are old. But for the most part, this is not going to be even the artists or the bands that you see in some of those other videos. And then some of it will be. All right, let's get on with it. We're going to start off right off the riff. All Them Witches, Nothing as the Ideal. This is a 2020 album from All Them Witches. Stoner. Some of the first stoner that I got into, that's kind of this new band era. Absolutely love All Them Witches. I think they're supposed to be coming out with some new stuff here recently. So that's it. Nothing is the Ideal. And you're like, I don't even know who that is. Here's like some old stuff that you might not see somebody pull out. Blood Rock, and this is Blood Rock 2 with DOA, Dead on Arrival. That is just a classic song. I got that 45 from a buddy. He gave it to me from his collection, and it was a song that his dad, so it was pretty much like a 45 that his dad had. Blood Rock's killer 70s hard rock, blues rock stuff. How about some Clutch? Self-titled. This has Space Grass on it. Classic stoner. I just keep on rolling. This is going to be try to be a quick video. How about some Corrosion of Conformity right here out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Deliverance. This is a 94 album. Great songs like Heaven's Not Overflowing, Albatross, and Clean My Wounds. Staple COC, and they're supposed to be having a new album come out this year. Actually, I think it's like in a couple months. How about some Danzig? Danzig 3, How the Gods Kill. This is talking about MTV in the Headbangers Ball era that the Zonk Man was listening to, probably in 93. Although this might have been a 92 album when it came out. But Dirty Black Summer. Oh man, lots of great stuff on this. Danzig 3, How the Gods Kill. And of course, this is probably my all-time favorite band. Hard to choose a record to grab. So the one I grab is just the self-titled debut, The Doors. You know this record. Everything's on here. Alabama Song. Take me the next whiskey bar, or whatever that is. How about some Earth? And this is Bees Made Honey in the Lion's Skull. Check out that cover, man. That cover's just killer. This is the one record that I would grab. Earth. Staple stoner stuff. Keep on rolling more. Elder was hard. I think I was like, what am I going to pull? This is Dead Roots Stirring from like 2015 maybe. Killer, we'll call it progressive stoner. Elder's a great band. We're stoner. King Buffalo. This one, man, I had no idea what to pull. So I just pulled Regenerator, which is the last record they came out with. I want to say 2023. And it's like 2021. It's like, yo, guys, you need to go. You've been touring like hell. I know you got some new material. You need to get in the studio and record a new album, man. It'd be killer to get a new album from them. This is somewhat of an older band than I thought maybe some of these guys, since I watched Vinyl Richie, Mark Morris, his channel. He's an older gentleman. And Michael, Clash City Rocker. I thought maybe they'd have some Moody Blues in their collection. But if they did, they didn't pull this. I've got a lot of Moody Blues records. It's just like cheap heat from that era to get. Days of Future Past. You need some Nights in White Satin, man. That's just a killer record. 90s. Industrial. 9 Inch Nails. This is actually a 1989 album, though. I did not know what to pull for 9 Inch Nails. I just said pull the first one. Pretty Hate Machine. It's got Head Like a Hole, Black as Your Soul, I'd Rather Die Than Give You Control. So what am I doing? Holding records up in front of a camera on YouTube. Anyway, what's the song been talking about? They Can Hear You. How about some Pearl Jam? Shout out to my buddy Zep Pearl. Huge, way bigger Pearl Jam fan than me. I grew up with that grunge, so I loved all that grunge in the 90s. I liked the glam and the sleaze too, and I wasn't sad to see it go for this. Vitology is probably my favorite Pearl Jam, or at least the one record I'd grab right off the get. Spin the Black Circle. Are they talking about records or heroin? Anyway, so I didn't do the Beatles, but I did do the Rolling Stones just because Aftermath. I love Paint It Black. Paint It Black has been a kick-ass song from the 60s that I love, that I wasn't even born yet. It's just like loving the Doors. and Morrison was gone before I was even born. But I grew up loving the Doors and that era of music. So Paint It Black was one of those songs that I just loved hearing. And it probably helped that it was on tour duty. Here's a newer band, probably doesn't get a lot of love in the VC. Slipknot, for that whole nu metal type genre and the fact that they dress up with masks, so there's some kind of gimmick. But this stems from all the way back to Alice Cooper and doing a theatrical show on stage and not just maybe necessarily being musicians and playing on stage. So I'm a huge Slipknot fan. This is Subliminal Verses, Volume 3. Damn, the track list is not on here. I love this. Is a kick-ass record from like 2004, maybe. Love some Slipknot. Back to the classic rock. How about some Steppenwolf? All you need, man, Steppenwolf. It's got Born to Be Wild, Sookie Sookie, The Pusher, Hoochie Coochie Man. Dude, this is solid all the way. All the way around. Some Steppenwolf. And got that cool cover back in 1967, I think. Oh, 68, sorry. Flip from hard rock, classic rock from the 60s, late 60s, to back to stoner, The Sword. Another band I did not know what to grab. I just grabbed Used Future. This is 2018. That's just a kick-ass cover. Some kind of damn speed machine looking like a 49 Mercury Mape-esque at the damn salt flats. So that's killer stuff right there. The Sword, Used Future. Big Tool guy, man. So I just grabbed the most recent Tool album, Fear Inoculum. This is all, yeah. Great album. Long songs, tripping. You got your third eye, your spirituality. We are one word, one breath, one love. Yeah, man, Tool. How about some Typo Negative? Oh, hey, let's get it out here first. Let's get out here. Typo Negative, Dead Again. This was the last record. Of course, Peter Steele died after this. I think I only saw Typo Negative once. Hey, Daisy. That's Daisy doing her little taking off. Or she's actually like, I'm starving for attention. What should I do? Why is he over there talking to himself? I don't understand what's going on. Why won't he pay any attention to me? Let me do a little skirt across the hardwood floor. Where you at, Daisy? She's mad because she's not up here sitting. I'm about done. Typo Negative, Dead Again. Last Typo record in like 07. Something like that. Back to some classic stuff. Uriah Heep. The first record. This is just like everybody always talks about, and I forget what year this is. This might be 70. I could be wrong on that. But everybody always talks about Sabbath, Deep Purple, and then they want to get Blue Cheer into their conversation. What about this, man? This was super freaking heavy, crazy ass cover. This is good heavy music. Uriah Heep's first one. Now, yes. Now, this record I picked for Yes is going to blow your mind. Because of my age, I chose something different. Yes, Big Generator. Maybe you're like, what? Yes, in the 80s? No way. You need to take that stuff. You need to turn it back into the record store. This, I had the cassette tape. This is kick-ass. You would have probably thought, okay, well, if you're 80s, yes, why didn't you do 90125, The Owner of a Lonely Heart, and all those hits? But this was definitely hitting on that kind of same vibe as 90125. Rhythm of Love, I think, was the big one on this. Love Will Find a Way. Anyway, yes. Big Generator. probably a record that some of y'all don't even have. And last, because shout out to my Uncle Wes, huge Neil Young fan, is probably the reason I have so many Neil Young records. There's probably like actually 30 some. But this one right here, everybody knows This Is Nowhere. Because this is nowhere, man. This is in our minds. We are in a realm of our mind experiencing the Matrix. All right. Boom. That is the non-completist record collection. Choosing one record from your favorite bands or artists and letting that be it. That's all we're going to have. I think I cleared that out. All right. That's it. Thanks for watching. The Zonkman's out of here. Just wanted to participate in that. Go check out Mark Morris, Clash City Rocker. Those are the two channels. And of course, I know you know Vinyl Richie. Hey, Pat, what's that?